What's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Witch intel. Yes, Season of the Witch has finally arrived. And with it, a whole bunch of new activities and a whole bunch of new loot, new exotics, great things to actually participate in once again. I've actually been really enjoying my first day in Season of the Witch. I like the new seasonal activities a lot more than last season's seasonal activities. Couldn't really wait to be done with them. There's actually a good bit of challenge in these activities, and they actually feel somewhat rewarding. But the number one thing that I want to talk about today, other than all the best ways that you can be farming out loot and XP currently, is the new exotics and the best ways to get them. Because these new exotics are very broken, in my opinion. One of them is definitely broken, possibly even unintentionally so. There might be a glitch with one of these, so you probably want to use it while it's still available in its finest form. It's actually two exotics specifically paired together that have a very unique interaction. But I'm going to get into all that information and how to get them in just 1 second. First, I just want to remind everybody, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. Of course, we'll be doing another giveaway when we reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, and when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X. If you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag or word you can leave in the comments section to be entered into the next giveaway a second time for this video. Remember, I do that on all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. A couple of little things I wanted to cover first. One, some secret chests. Why not some free secret loot? This is in the new Savathun's Spire mission. If you were wondering what those big runes on the wall were actually for, you simply have to shoot them with a corresponding damage type. There are two different exotic, or excuse me, just normal, not exotic chests, that you can actually get, two secret chests from the Savathun's Spire mission on any given run. You'll only be able to collect the loot on each chest once, I believe probably every week. But fairly simple to find. Just follow the runes. The first three will all be in this particular room. The last one will be up on the corner of the next room. Head in here. And then when you get to the next area where you have all these sort of floating pillars, make sure you go through the right door. Not the right door, but the correct door. It'll lead you out here, and you'll see the same kind of runes underneath these platforms. Shoot them all. There should be 2 void, 2 solar, and there will be another chest that appears up on the right on the opposite side. Nothing too amazing here, just some free loot. You might as well get it if you didn't know about it or if you were curious what those things actually were. But fairly simple. And then head over to the other side and gather up the loot. Another thing I wanted to just cover quickly, as you might have missed it, if you actually go into the helm and into the area where you'll actually be turning in all your new missions or quests, whatever you like to refer to them as, you will find a free opaque card that you might have missed sitting in the very center of the, what would you call it, the Colosseum there, or not quite a Colosseum, the altars here. But behind it, there's a little tree, and behind that tree, you will find a free card. So if you're missing one, or if you just didn't get this one, just a quick little tip. And now on to how to actually get the new exotics. Now, the best way to do this is to actually do the Vex Strike Force in the Vex Incursion Zone in Neomuna. Now, the reason for that is you can get these exotics from doing Legendary Lost Sectors, but the best ones, or the ones that we're going to be talking about, are all gauntlets, and those are not available today unless maybe you had some exotic engrams saved up. You could just hold off until a gauntlet day, but why waste time? You definitely want to use these things as soon as you get in and as soon as they become available. So head into the Vex Incursion Zone and wait for that public event. You'll see it on your map that'll actually say it's awarding an exotic. It's a guaranteed exotic if you actually complete that public event. And you have a good chance, not a 100% chance, of getting the new exotic gauntlets. My buddy Sinister got his for his Hunter on the very first time, and I also got the new ones for the Warlock on the very first time, though the second time I did it on my Hunter, I actually got, I believe they're the new exotic boots. I'm not totally sure if they're 100% new, if they were new last season, maybe I just didn't get them, but I got new exotic boots. But it is a guaranteed exotic every time, so you can farm this out as much as you want. You just have to wait around for it, and it does take a little bit of time to actually spawn. There is a really good Discord channel that I will link in the description box that basically allows you to track when these particular public events appear, so you don't actually have to keep checking your map to see when they're actually here. But the two gauntlets that I want to talk about, first off, the exotic gauntlet, the Brybans, let's call them that, Briar Binds, maybe. I said it right at least one of those times. But in any case, what this does is with your Mark of the Void, however you'd like to refer to that as, your big floating purple node that you get from laying down your Empowering Rift. Essentially, you can get as many of those as you can possibly get by laying down your Empowering Rift. So the more that you can get your Empowering Rift up, the more these you can put down, and you can collect them. That's right, you can actually collect them once they've killed a whole bunch of enemies and powered up. You can actually go and collect it again and then fire it again, and it'll trace to whatever enemy you're firing it at. Now, I've actually found that this works really well in some endgame activities just because you can have so many of these and you can keep collecting them. They do a huge debuff in an area effect to all the enemies that they get linked to, and they're actually really good against bosses because you can have a couple of these on a boss at the same time. But the number one thing that I wanted to talk about was the Hunter exotics. Now, the Hunter exotics, the Moth Keeper's wraps, they are 100% broken. Now, there is a very unique interaction with them and the new exotic grenade launcher that we got from the Seasonal Pass. The description on the Moth Keeper's wraps say that you essentially get a healing moth as well as an arc moth every single time you get grenade energy and do grenade damage. However, that works with the grenade launcher. So long as you have grenades to shoot, you will be able to get that buff. And maybe people don't really realize that, as it doesn't describe it that way in the actual description. So this works very similar to how Austringer or Thorn worked with the necrotic grips. And it's very, very OP. That's all I can say. And here's a brief little recap on what the descriptions actually say for these two exotics. And like I said, I don't believe they're intended to work this way, but when you read the descriptions, I really can't see a way that they wouldn't. Extris, this weapon enrages when dealing or taking sustained damage, gaining increased rate of fire while enraged. But it's the Loyal Moth's final blows with this weapon create a Loyal Moth. The moth will seek out nearby targets and detonate, damaging and blinding them. And if you head over to Moth Keeper's Rasps, we have your grenade becomes a cage of loyal moths that release on impact and fly towards the nearest target or ally. If they reach a target, they detonate in a blinding explosion. If they reach an ally, the moth grants an ally a void overshield. That also counts towards you. So essentially every single time, especially once you get the catalyst for this weapon, not only will you be getting extra arc damage, but you'll also be creating a void shield for yourself and doing some pretty good AoE. So it really is, in my opinion, probably one of the best weapons to be using at the moment, or at least the best exotic combination currently in the game while it's broken. Hopefully these things will stay like this, as the other weapons that have this sort of synergy, like Necrotic Grip and Osteo and Thorn, have stayed as they were when they were first released, and that interaction is still working. One other thing that I did want to mention, and though this doesn't pertain specifically to the exotics, it's more about the new activities and how to farm them. We do get bonuses for wearing the new pieces of armor associated with this season, though they can make some of the new activities, especially when you're doing the tier 3 activities, a little bit more difficult. But you can just swap to these pieces of armor at the very end of the activity, and you'll still get these bonus rewards. You don't actually need to have it equipped the entire time. So keep on the exotics and the weapons and the armor pieces that you want with the mods associated that you want to be using for your builds, and then just have a set of this armor, or at least a few pieces of this armor that you can swap to at the very end of the activity, sort of around the time when Eris actually appears. And the very last thing that I did want to mention, and though this doesn't pertain to any obtainable exotic currently, the Necrochasm will become available once the new raid drops. If anybody remembers D1 Necrochasm, the Hive auto rifle, you needed to actually acquire several RNG items before you could actually get the Necrochasm or upgrade the Necrochasm. That will not be the case now, and it looks like it's just going to be associated with the new revival of the Crota's End raid, which I'm actually very much looking forward to, and hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on that exotic as soon as I'm able to actually get into the new raid. But that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And of course, if you've watched till this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Season of the Witch, or a hashtag Lightfall, or any one of the new exotics that you might have already gotten, or the ones that you're going to be using once you do actually get them. Thanks so much for watching once again, and of course, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time.